Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So Marvel posted this funny Infinity War teaser. I'm going to play it. There's a really big character that the Russos accidentally revealed is going to be in Infinity War, but we'll talk about it. See if you can guess who it is while you're watching the teaser.
Infinity Wars it's really going to take the cake.
It's going to be the Star Wars of our generation.
We thought that the most compelling way to start off Infinity War would be to have the Avengers spread off to the ends of the earth in complete conflict with each other when the greatest threat that they've ever faced shows up. And it's setting the groundwork for Infinity War, but you know, Civil War is not finished. The story will continue. The story of this family will continue into those movies.
Civil War was very much a good warm-up for us in terms of the storytelling for Infinity War because we're dealing with such a large number of characters.
What I have seen so far and heard so far is just, I mean, Marvel do it each time. It is huge. Not just in the sort of scale of what they're going to attempt to do visually, but just story-wise. The ideas are just massive and so much fun.
Infinity War, the approach to those movies that they're culmination films and that they're going to culminate everything that has come before them in any Marvel movie up to this point. So it's really banding together all of the characters of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to face this threat together.
They didn't reveal a whole lot in that teaser, but that's to be expected. They're only promoting Civil War right now, so Marvel probably has their own team of Winter Soldiers following cast around to make sure they don't reveal anything. They're not even 100% done writing the story for both films, but they have most of it, enough to start shooting, which is actually starting pretty soon. The real details that we know about the film come from a bunch of different interviews that they've been giving. So the Russos said that we're going to continue to explore Cap and Bucky's relationship. A lot of that probably got left on the cutting room floor when they decided to do Civil War for Captain America 3. Because if they hadn't done Civil War, they probably would have done more Bucky flashbacks. It would have been more of the story of Bucky being framed for something that he didn't do, Cap trying to save him, more of the story of someone trying to get over this mental disability that Bucky has. But also the Cap-Iron Man relationship, they said they'd be exploring whether or not they can repair that. No surprise here, spoiler alert, nothing brings people together like the threat of imminent universal destruction at the hands of the Infinity Gauntlet and Thanos. But there'll be a lot of like that juvenile Tony Stark foot stomping before that happens. He's definitely one of the most prideful Marvel characters, but Robert Downey Jr. is just so charismatic on screen that he makes it work. He doesn't come off as much of a total asshole as he did during comic book Civil War. I think we can thank the Spider-Man arc for that. But the other big relationship that they kind of explored, they didn't really deal with it in Civil War too much, was Scarlet Witch and Vision. Because they even had that line in Civil War where she acknowledges that he's the only one who's not afraid of her. And we found out that she can control the mind gem that's embedded in his head. Because you have to remember that both of their powers flow from the mind gem, so naturally she's still going to be connected to it, even if it's not physically connected to her the way it's connected to Vision. Vision had more of a protector role during Civil War. I think it'll be a lot of fun to see those roles reversed in Infinity War, because Thanos is going to want the mind gem to form the Infinity Gauntlet, so he's going to have to forcibly take it from Vision, which is kind of like saying he's going to take Vision's humanity. There's that moment in Civil War where Iron Man turns to him and says, "I didn't think you made mistakes like this," as if he's saying Vision derped like a human would. Vision is very shaken, says, "I didn't think that I was capable of mistakes like this either," as if he still has a long way to go in exploring his humanity. That'll continue in Infinity War, but I imagine because he doesn't have the soul gem, it's not going to be so much Thanos taking his soul as him taking his humanity when he takes the mind gem from him. So now Scarlet Witch is going to have to be his protector. The overarching metaphor that the writers used was that it's going to be a lot like Pearl Harbor, in that they will be totally unprepared for Thanos' assault. But I know I put that big question to you guys before the teaser about who the big character the Russos accidentally revealed. In case it wasn't already clear, they're talking about Captain Marvel. They said that she would be in it, like an actual physical actress would be cast, and she would be one of the big characters in Infinity War, the same way Black Panther and Spider-Man were in Civil War. So Marvel has been really quiet about who they're looking at. They've had people working on the script for the solo film, but it's still a long ways off. But the reason I think that they haven't announced who the actress is yet is because they have something of a Doctor Strange situation. Marvel really wanted Benedict Cumberbatch for Doctor Strange, but because he was so busy, Marvel could not get him to sign a contract. Because Marvel is famous for making people sign huge contracts. It took a couple years, but they finally got him. So I think Marvel has just been going back and forth with the person that they really want for Captain Marvel. But their biggest candidate, I think, is still going to be Emily Blunt. Marvel's done a really good job of going after really awesome, creative indie directors, but I think it still looks for relatively bankable stars for these big solo films. But there are a couple other big names that have been thrown around. I feel like Emily Blunt is still one of their top picks, but they definitely have a list of people. So if they don't get her, they're just going to go down the list. I know a lot of people want Catherine Winnick. I think she's an awesome actress. I think she'd be a badass Captain Marvel, but like I said, I think that Marvel wants to go with a relatively bigger name. The other really cool stuff, everybody's asking about Thanos because he had nothing to do with Civil War. What is he doing? Is he going to be in Thor Ragnarok? So the director for Thor Ragnarok has been tweeting up a storm with James Gunn and a couple of the other big Marvel directors. It's hilarious. Do I have to put the purple guy with the floaty chair in my movie? James Gunn's reply, yes, it's a law now, you have to. So that is just one of the reasons why I love Marvel so much right now, at least Marvel Studios, the film side of their business. Part of the reason for the big studio shift behind the scenes in the way that they report to people at Disney is so that Kevin Feige can go after smaller directors like this, people who are amazing directors but just haven't done major super giant films before. They had all that drama last year about Ike Perlmutter, who still controls Marvel TV Studios, controlling the film side of the business, and people up at the top butting heads, so they got all that worked out. So Marvel can just go after like really awesome, talented people, and there isn't as much political stuff behind it. Because before that, I think Kevin Feige was forced to go after like big name directors, which isn't always a guarantee for success. But I love the idea that Thanos is going to be in Thor Ragnarok, and this is how they're unofficially confirming it. I gotta put the purple guy in the floaty chair in my movie? Okay, I guess it's a law, I guess I'll do it. But if you're unsure about what's going on with that movie, I've done a couple videos. A lot of what's going on in that movie thematically draws from Jack Kirby's version of Ragnarok. That was the time in the comics when he was trying to replace the Asgardian characters with the New Gods, which ended up being a DC franchise because Jack Kirby went to DC when he was working on it. But think of Thor Ragnarok as Thor's version of the Winter Soldier movie in the way that S.H.I.E.L.D. came crashing down. So Asgard has been infiltrated by Loki. Thor, like Captain America, going to tear it down to the ground and restart. Big reboot for Asgardian society. The movie will address what happened to Odin, and it is starring Cate Blanchett, who I think is going to be a version of Hela ruling over Thor's version of Hell. I just can't wait to see her in the Marvel Universe. Think of what she would look like as the most evil version of Galadriel, like Galadriel with the Ring of Power during that nightmare sequence during Lord of the Rings. So let me know in the comments though, based on all the stuff that they've confirmed and teased about Infinity War, what do you guys want to see in those movies beyond Thanos assembling the gauntlet and seeing a version of comic book Infinity War and seeing the Avengers clean it up? Just to get you guys a little more excited about Phase 4, the Russos, who are probably going to stay on after Infinity War, they definitely sound like they have a lot more steam in them, a lot more than Joss Whedon had after Avengers Age of Ultron. They said the next big character that they really want to go after in terms of borrowing characters like Spider-Man is Wolverine. The problem with that is that Hugh Jackman is only doing one more Wolverine movie. He's doing his Old Man Logan movie, and then that's it for him. So that's definitely going to cause some issues down the road, but they did the same thing with Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland. So if they recast Wolverine in the next 10 years, I think they'll totally get him for a Marvel cameo eventually. I think it's going to take a long time. But my next big video is going to be all about Voltron. I'll post that later tonight, so be sure to subscribe to get it. And actually, giveaway time. Congratulations to this week's Marvel giveaway winner. Justin Stewart, you win 2 IMAX gift certificates. Just be sure to private message me on the back end of my channel for contact details. That's just on the About page. So because there's all kinds of Civil War Marvel stuff still happening, I'll continue to do the giveaway. I'll start a new round whenever I post my next big Marvel video. While you guys wait for my next video to post, you can click here for all my Civil War Easter eggs, and you can click here for my post-credits scene video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.